Hey everybody, how's it going? I am your host Adrian, coming to you almost live from lovely Petaluma, California, here in Studio MC2. Quicksurf Internet Studios is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Do feel free to head on over to techpodcasts.com and check out all the other technology-related shows over there as well. I'd like to encourage everybody to visit us online. You can do so over at quicksurf.com. If you are just discovering the show, please do subscribe. You can find the subscription links inside the show notes for every episode over at quicksurf.com. There's a subscribe heading, and you've got links to subscribe to an OGG Vorbis feed, an MP3 feed, and a standard def and high def H.264 feed, each respectively. So please do subscribe and help support the show. If you've already subscribed, thank you. And for those of you that have been with the show for a while, thanks for subscribing and staying subscribed. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the cool stuff I found for this episode. Over at Mashable, they have this gallery here, 10 Totally Geeky Keychains. Some of them I thought was totally cool. I thought I'd share it with you, so definitely check it out. And like I mentioned before, everything we've talked about is linked up in the show notes over at quicksurf.com. So do feel free to head on over there, and you'll find all the links to everything we've talked about. From Ars Technica, I ran across this really nice, I thought it was an interesting article in their scientific methods / science and exploration section. And the article is entitled Envisioning the Urban Skyscraper of 2050. And basically, it's a nice little write-up of a paper that a company called Erupt did, and basically it examined some of the things that they are, envisioning for 2050 in skyscrapers, and whether or not they will actually be able to do something of that nature, or whether it will be, what they're talking about is kind of a pipe dream. I thought it was an interesting read. Definitely there's some pretty cool stuff to look forward to going forward. Overpopulation is going to continue to be a problem. Global climate change is going to continue to wreak havoc. There's a lot of stuff, we can't expand outwards, as the population grows. So there's a number of things that this company is trying to address with their skyscrapers. So anyway, I thought it was pretty cool. Check it out. From ubergizmo.com, Bionic Hand can provide a sense of touch to patients. I thought this was neat. My younger brother makes prosthetics. He works here in the US, he works for a fairly large company that makes prosthetics for a lot of patients. And, I happened to just stumble across this. Actually, as I was looking around the internet, and what this Bionic Hand does is they have, skin, well, not skin, but they have artificial skin on the fingertips of the hand. And then they have sensors underneath there, so that and then it's wired into the nervous system of the patient, so that the patient can control the hand with his nervous system, and it gives him feedback back into his nervous system from the hand. Pretty neat. So this hand is being they're planning to implant this hand into a guy in, let's see, what does it say? I just read this too. They're planning to implant this hand into a guy in Israeli, if I'm not mistaken. For some reason, I'm totally missing. Yeah, in Rome. So they're going to plant it into a 20-something-year-old patient living in Rome. It'll be connected to his nervous system. The doctors are hoping the patient is then able to control the hand's movements as well as touch signals from the skin sensors installed on the hand. So I'm going to be following this just to see what comes of it, because I thought that was pretty neat. From GigaOhm, when iCloud isn't enough, balancing other cloud storage options. So the summary of this article is written by Mark Crump. Is iCloud doesn't work as a one-stop storage solution the way I'd hoped. I kind of agree with him. Here's a guide to how I incorporate several online storage solutions to make them work for my needs. So he basically provides a nice little rundown between iCloud, Dropbox, and SkyDrive. And I use iCloud and Dropbox, and SkyDrive is I'm a little unhappy with SkyDrive. That's not something I use that frequently, but Amazon S3 I do use. So my thing is iCloud, SkyDrive, Amazon S3. Anyway, definitely an interesting read. From Engadget, MIT and the U.S. Army is crafting uniforms with full-body fiber optic sensors. This is kind of an interesting read. This is something they're prototyping, where they're basically the uniform is going to be loaded with sensors so that they can detect where you've got injuries and that sort of thing. Pretty interesting read. From Making Magic with Arduino. I thought this was pretty neat. So basically, a quick summary of this is starts off: pulling a rabbit out of a hat is a neat trick, but how about wowing crowds of kids with an old suitcase that performs magic thanks to 18 synchronized Arduino-powered servos that were about hidden from view? In many respects, Mario the Magician Marchese is, with his narrow suspenders and top hat, is an old school magician. And this basically does a quick little rundown of how he does his thing with technology, specifically Arduinos. I thought was pretty neat. From Geeky Gadgets, Bungie Destiny trailer offers a first look at a new game. They've got a video posted here on YouTube. I thought it was pretty neat. They're looking to make this like kind of a really long-termish type game, something that you can play continuously. Halo is great and everything, but something that you can play continuously for long, periods of time. Very much like how the StarCraft and World of Warcraft franchises, where, it's kind of a continuously morphing thing. So definitely check it out. Also from Geeky Gadgets, the Samsung Galaxy S4, more details revealed. That's right. The Samsung Galaxy S4 is rumored to launch in Europe in April, and we're expecting the Samsung Galaxy S4 to be officially unveiled at a Samsung unpacking event in Moscow on the 15th of March. So there's some more leaked details on this. It's going to be powered by the Exynos 5440 processor. Pretty interesting. There's some other stuff that they've got, so definitely check this out. 1920 by 1080 display, 2 gigs of RAM, 13 megapixel camera. There's a whole list of leaked specs. So if you're looking to do a Samsung Galaxy S4, definitely look into that. From Uber Gizmo, Acrylicize walls up with Lego Minifigs. We all know just how cute Lego Minifigs can be, and perhaps in an effort to increase productivity at the office, a company has decided to listen to consulting agency Acrylicize and actually put up a wall that is full of, you guessed it, Lego Minifigs, which is definitely an art installation that will turn more than just heads. Wow. They have a picture of this here. If you're a Lego fan, I want to do this at home. That's right. I don't have that many minifigs, though. I'm not really a minifig collector, but still, I know somebody who is, Chris Perlow. From Geeky Gadgets. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Let's go back. Okay, there we go. I accidentally clicked on something that sent me flying off somewhere else. From Geeky Gadgets, Ubuntu Mobile Developer Edition arrives on February 21st. This is kind of in the Linux vein. I'll probably be talking about this on the upcoming Linux news log Sunday evening. So basically, this is a developer release edition for the mobile version of Ubuntu. We've talked about this previously on the Linux news log podcast, which you can find over at quicksurf.com as well. Definitely check it out if you want to do development for the mobile Ubuntu. This is something to look for. From Slash Gear, there's a report out. Harrison Ford has signed for Star Wars Episode VII as Han Solo. This is correct. Now, Disney bought Lucasfilm. They're planning to do Star Wars Episode VII, a continuation of Episodes 1 through 6. and Harrison Ford has been signed to reprise his role as Han Solo, which means episode 7 will probably be kind of age, however many years after episode 6 was done. I'm thinking maybe, they'll have some of the old actors kind of turn over to a new genre of actor so that they can take off and do that. It'll be interesting to see what comes of it. Pretty neat. From Hackaday, an awesome futuristic all-in-one robot chassis. That's right. No matter how many advances in electronics we find, we're constantly surprised at the lack of progress in robot chassis. Sure, it should be a simple task to make a capable robot that looks cool, but aside from the Vetter project team, no one else seems to be advancing the state of robot mechanics. And this is a nice little chassis that they've got here that allows you to kind of build on top of that. And I thought it was neat. If you're into robotics, definitely check it out. From Slash Gear, there's a story here. Library of Congress unveils a plan to preserve recordings. The Library of Congress has unveiled its National Recording Preservation Plan, which involves preserving the U.S.'s recorded sound heritage for generations to come. The plan is mandated by Congress, which is good, and it is composed of 32 recommendations encompassing both the public and private sectors. Issues concerning inadequate storage space and other problems will all be addressed. So, pretty neat. Obviously, this is not with challenge because, you've got copyright and a whole mix of other, technological hurdles that you need to get over, but still pretty cool. From Gizmodo, there's a story here in their PCs section by the Maximum PC staff. It's entitled Build the Best PC for Your Buck. That's right. It's a nice little write-up on how to, if you're into doing your DIY, white box / gaming PC. That's aside from notebooks, that's pretty much the only kind of desktop-based PC that I build. I don't buy from Dell or Hewlett Packard or any of the manufacturers. I generally, I always, at least in the case of desktop style PCs, I always build my own. Go get a nice Antec case, I spec it out, and it's basically built for what I plan to use it for. This gives a nice little rundown to basically get the most bang for your buck in desktop PC land. I thought it was cool. I thought I'd share it with you guys. For those of you who are in the need for building a new system, if you're in the market, definitely check it out. That will do it for this edition of The Geekinator. As always, everything we've talked about is linked up in the show notes, which you can find online over at quicksurf.com. Please do subscribe to the show if you have not already done so. And if you have, thank you. With that, I'll see all of you on the next episode. I'll see you then. Bye.